DZMM 90.1, bringing you the latest news on tourism. This is Glenn Olasco.
And this is John Amel de la Cruz. This is DZMM 90.1, where the tourism news are.
It is already 10 a.m. touristas. Let's go straight to our news. News today. Tourism enthusiasts are keen to ask, what is a tourism development plan? For the report, here is Nina Tolentino.
Thank you, Glenn. Tourism enthusiasts have been asking, what is a tourism development plan? According to an article posted in the German Tourist.marketing, a tourism development plan is the tool needed to attain the goal of tourism development, which is to increase the attractiveness of a destination or tourism company and thereby attract more tourists. It is also stated that it can be a framework or a plan, and sometimes it can be bound in legal terms. DZMM 90.1, this is Nina Tolentino, Tourism News.
Thank you, Nina. In other news, the Tourism Development Plan involves 3 stages in its process. Let's hear about the first stage from Janrix Onya. Janrix?
Thank you, Amiel. That's true. There are 3 stages involved in the process of tourism development plan. The first stage is situational analysis. The situational analysis is executed in 5 different areas. The first one is the environmental analysis of the destination. The next one is the market analysis for the type of tourists that will go to the destination. And the next one is the competition analysis, which tackles how the tourist destination will be unique from other destinations. The next one is the operation and potential analysis, which indicates the percentage of the potential of the destination to attract tourists and the amount of manpower needed for the destination. And lastly is the SWOT analysis that is used to help us in determining the strengths, weaknesses of the tourist destination that will be planned to be laid out. DZMM 90.1. This is Janrix Onya, Tourism News.
Thank you, Janrix. And now for the second stage of the Tourism Development Plan. Here is JM Baranya for the report.
Thank you, Glenn. The secondary stage of the Tourism Development Plan is the vision, goals, and objectives, or simply the mission statement. This is according to the German Tourist.marketing. The mission statement includes the outline of the objectives, wherein both qualitative and quantitative goals are defined. The next inclusion is the definition of the target group. In here, the target groups and source markets are determined that the supply and the marketing shall be oriented towards. Third is the supply strategy. The concrete offer and the infrastructure needs to be defined. Then corporate brand strategy, which is based on the unique feature of the supply strategy, requires establishing unique selling proposition. Lastly, the cooperation strategy is that strategic partnerships are defined that can have a positive impact on the turnover of the cost of the tourism company. DZMM 90.1, this is JM Baranya, Tourism News.
Thank you, JM. Now, the last part of the process of a tourism development plan is the strategies or action plan. For the inclusions in this process, here is Gabriel Miranda for the report.
Thank you, Amiel.
So, the last process included in the tourism development plan is the strategies or the action plan. According to the German Tourist Marketing, the elaboration of an action plan includes sphere of activity that shall be worked on are derived from the pre-assigned objectives and strategies. And projects, the particular spheres of activity are concretized in projects. Thereby, the further approach is fixed. DZMM 90.1. This is Gabriel Miranda, Tourism News.
Thank you, Gab. For the National Development Plan, what is really the role of this plan and what does it provide? For the report, we will hear it when we come back after some advertisements.
DZMM 90.1, bringing you the latest news on tourism. This is still John Amiel de la Cruz.
And I am Glenn Nolasco. This is DZMM 90.1, where the tourism news are.
And we are back. As to find out the role or the importance of the National Development Plan, let's hear the report from Galiana Rain Reyes. Galiana?
Thank you, Amiel. The National Development Plan was always discussed by the Tourism Department. But what is the importance of this plan? According to UNESCO, the NDP is not an action or financial plan, but a strategic document which proposes a medium-term goal and priorities, facilitates formation of a common understanding and involvement of the entire society, focuses attention and financial resources for ensuring the country's and society's sustainable development, sets forth guidelines for drafting and planning documents at all levels and sectors. DZMM 90.1, this is Galiana Rain Reyes, Tourism News.
Thank you, Galiana. We have been informed about the importance of the NDP. However, we don't know what it really provides. For the report, let's hear it from Zareen Marciano.
Thank you, Glenn. According to the Department of Tourism, the National Development Plan has been laid out for so long in the Philippines, and this has been provided our country with an illustration of an action plan for accomplishing the goals of improving market access and connectivity at the national level. We can see it with the negotiation of our country with regards to air agreement and reduction of foreign air carrier costs, and lastly, the simplified border procedures for key growth markets like South Korea. DZMM 90.1, this is Zareen Marciano, Tourism News.
Thank you, Zareen. Our NTDP has been laid out during the reign of the late President Benigno Aquino III. However, in the Duterte administration, are there any plans for tourism development? The recent trend in our country's NTDP, to be reported by Nordelin Zabida. Nordelin?
Thank you, Amiel. The latest trend in our country's NTDP was discussed in a plenary session held by Piazza's entitled Investing in the Philippine Tourism Development. A national development plan was laid out. The National Tourism Development Plan for the year 2016 to 2022 calls for investing in a competitive and inclusive tourism. And the vision is to develop a highly competitive, environmentally sustainable, and socially responsible tourism that promotes inclusive growth through employment generation and equitable distribution of income. DZMM 90.1, this is Nordelin Sabida, Tourism News.
Thank you, Nordelin. And that is all, folks, for the latest tourism news. This is Glenn Olasco.
And this is John Amiel de la Cruz, DZMM 90.1, where the latest tourism news are.